3, 2, 1. Shucks. I guess we didn't fix it. Welcome back to another repair. Today, let's take a look and see what we have coming. This thing has seen some better days, I think. An iPhone 6S Plus, and all we know about it is that it's dead. So we're going to try to figure out what is wrong and make it work again. Here we go. Our first standard test is Porto Pow. Let's see if this thing takes any energy. Man, look at that gap. Terrible. This thing has totally been abused. Okay, back to business. Porto Pow. Big fat 0. Let's open it. Not your typical way of opening it, but this phone has clearly been damaged. Ho ho ho! The inside doesn't look too bad. I see a tiny bit of pink on the water trigger up here, but it doesn't look like it was fully exposed. The rest of the inside of this phone looks real good. So step 2, we're going to hook it up to the DC power supply and see what it does. And we go straight to 2 amps. I think that means we got a dead short. Let's take out the board. What a mess. This is some kind of a skin cover that they put on over the pink. Alright, tear down. When you're working on the S Plus, you don't want to forget this guy, because he's a pain to repair if you tear him. Alright, let's get him out of here. Come on. This frame had a nasty bend in it before I started. So we're going to go under the microscope and see if we can't figure out what's going on. Okay, so here is our PP1V8 main line on those 2 caps. And in diode mode, we are a whopping 1.9 to ground. Or that was our ohms. If we put it in diode mode, continuity, we got a full-on short on our PP1V8 main. So let's tear out these shields and keep assessing. Come on. My goodness. That's not working very well. Let's try a different corner. There we go. Man, I need to charge $100 just for taking off that shield. Jeez. Well, things appear nice on this side. Alright, let's try this sticker. Well, let's see what's under there actually. Yes, we have a lot more PP1V8 main under this. So let's take out that sticker. I don't recall these stickers ever coming off this difficult. Okay. Shaka Khan. Wow, things appear healthy. Well, before I go ripping these 2 shields on this side off, I am going to see if there's any heat happening on the top side, right in here. So let's check that first. No beeping. And we are going to pull Q2300, just because I know he's going to get hot no matter what. So we'll just get him out of the way to start, and then we'll continue on. So we got that guy off, and now we need to bridge two of those balls together so that we can inject voltage and current right through the battery connector. Let's make sure they're touching, and they are. Prepare the freeze spray. Make sure the board is cool. I think before I freeze it completely, I'm gonna see if I can just feel some heat. Here we go. I'm not feeling any heat. Actually, it does feel like it's getting warm right over here, but it is slow. So let's turn off our DC power. Let the board cool off a tiny bit. Man, that looks terrible out of focus. Oh well. Let's see what we can do. Beautiful frozen tundra, and hit the button and watch. Well, let's white it out just a bit more. All right, there we go. And let's watch for the melt. All right, so that could be just the heat from my fingers. So let's refreeze and watch really closely right down in here. Well, the side of that chip is where it's melting first. I don't know if I trust that. Which one is that? Is that the PMIC? And is that a crack? Let's look close. Interesting. I'm gonna fully inspect this side one more time. Well, it is time to go for the shields because we've got VCC main everywhere. So we're gonna let the board warm up and then we will hit it and pull the shields. Alrighty then. So I've spent a little bit of time looking around this board and there's nothing that appears to be physically off except for what appears to be some kind of a crack, warp, I don't know what you want to call it, on that chip. And those little scratches are from me. Just running my blade over it, feel what it feels like. Now this is the only section of the board that is getting hot, right around the PMIC. Specifically, right around in here. And so I checked the lines that come out of this. And all of the lines that are in that vicinity are also short to ground. So that one is shorted. I've tested the other caps up on the top. Obviously PP1V8 main is short. The Buck 0_LX3 is short. Pretty much every one of these along coming out of this on this side are all shorted. And so for the sake of time, I'm going to dig out the underfill here and we're gonna see if this is what our problem is. Like I say, normally I wouldn't do this. This time I'm going to because there appears to be damage on the chip. So let us switch back, start digging away this underfill. Whew, that's two sides. That means we're almost done. Well, I imagine that getting this guy off is going to be a wee bit difficult. So we are going to do the broken tip sideways pry method. And what I'm going to do is just see if I can't gently get a little bit of leverage on that and pop it free without ruining everything else. I think I got it cut down pretty good. I see a little section here I'm going to hit. Okay, here we go. Oh man, I've never seen that before. That chip just came off in pieces. All right, I wonder if that means that the chip is totally fractured in there, because I was not putting enough stress on that guy to ruin it. But the good news is we can change tactics and get under there. Okay, so here we go. We're going to use this little guy and we are going to try to gently get under this chip. Boy, that is not easy. That is not easy. Whoops, put you back in view. Man. See, I know I'm cooking the crap out of this board, but I cannot get that chip to release. But this chip is clearly destroyed. I can see more and more breaks in it now. Okay, let's warm it back up. Holy mackerel. Want to be ever so gentle not to rip pads. Hopefully I haven't already screwed this board up beyond all repair. I'm going to let the board cool off completely before I continue. Everything is starting to really float. Oh man. That is ugly. Ugly. This is going to be a nightmare. And as I work on this, I am well aware that the CPU is on the reverse of this. But we're going to continue on in hopes of a miracle. Yay, we did it. Oh man, look at all of those little beads. Hot diggity. Boy, that underfill is not cool. So I'm gonna just clean up those pads and then see if our short is relieved. Just one step at a time. Oh, shaky hands. Too much root beer. Okay, so before I go too much farther, let us find our PP-VCC main, and we'll do those guys right there. And let's see if we relieved the short. Yay, look at that. No beep, no beep. Yes beep, yes beep. That was our problem. So now, now I gotta clean this crap up and try to put a new chip on without causing any more stinking damage. So if we relieved our VCC main short, then let's check those buck lines. And they were on this side of the board, north of the CPU. All right, well, let's test them. Okay, well, we relieved the short. This side of the board all looks good. So since we're here and we relieved our main short, let's just clean it up a bit more. Okay, well, kind of think this might be presentable. Okay, we are making progress. What a pain. Now I need a CNC grinder. Oh man, I think that we are ready to mount a new chip. This could be the ugliest hack job I've ever seen. Haha, no, just kidding. I've done uglier for sure. But if this baby boots, I can pay my rent on Friday. The world is good when rent is paid, the babies are fed, the woman's happy. I am going to try one more thing, and that is a gentle wick. It's probably a pretty piss poor idea, but we're going to just take some of these bumps down. All right, that looks a little nicer to me. In fact, that looks a lot nicer to me. I think we're ready. Just wipe it down. Those beautiful balls. All right, I think we are ready to put some heat on this here chip and send him home. All right, 900 degrees Celsius for 5 minutes ought to do it. So the buck lines are down. Let me just check these right here, because these were shorted before I started. Low resistance to ground, very low resistance to ground, but all of them are. And those were like that before I started. So just for fun, this board is warmed up good. I am going to retake my PMIC off and see if that clears up those shorts. And if that does not work, then I'm going home for the night. And that line is still down. So I think, well, let's clean up the pads and double check it. Let's make sure we don't just have something retarded here. We are cleaned up and going to test and see if this guy will boot. Let's try this thing and see if it still works. You never know. And 3, 2, 1. Shucks. I guess we didn't fix it. So I'm on the power supply and let's see what this does. It immediately goes to 1.5 with a prompt to boot. So that means we still have problems. Before prompt, nothing. After prompt, short. So we're going to try something here, and that is we are going to freeze this board, and then we're going to touch those pins and see if we can jump start it and figure out where the place is getting hot. Alright, here we go. Whoa! Okay, well, we have confirmed that we have a PP1V8 SDRAM. That sounds familiar. However, the question is, can we solve it? Because there's not a lot here, unless it is under the processor. Okay, so I'm going to show under the microscope what I got. I'm going to freeze it up just a bit. I'm going to get my tweezers ready. Beautiful white tundra. And front and center, boom.